folks, this is Poidog808, and before I get into the game footage, I just wanted to give you a quick briefing of what I'm doing here. Some of you may have seen my last video, pretty much rage quit out of this game, and I said I would not deal with it anymore, pretty much over it. Actually, Moto X Jeff and Germ kind of talked me off the ledge. I went ahead and give this game another shot. Taking some advice, I upped my stability settings and stuff like that, so the game's actually a little more enjoyable. I was shooting for a goal way too high for myself so early in playing the game. I've only been playing it for a month. I think I was just jumping the gun and trying to do too much too fast. I'm used to playing arcade games. Jumping into a simulator, I was expecting the same control. It just didn't work out that way. For any new riders to this game, I highly suggest that you use the arcade mode at least to get used to the track first. And then once you can kind of dictate turns and how fast you need to go over jumps and stuff, then switch to arcade mode off. I can give you 3 quick tips to getting started right away. First thing you want to do is you want to go get the demo. The demo will dictate whether or not you can run this game. It's available for PC, Mac. There's no download for Mac, but for Mac users, I believe there's a program called Crossover. If you YouTube it, Crossover MX Simulator, you should be able to find some tips on how to get the game running on a Mac. Step 2, definitely get a controller. You can play it with a keyboard. If you're anything like me, a console gamer, the keyboard's not going to work out for you. I pretty much will push my keys right through the keyboard. If you have a wired controller for Xbox, plug it right into your PC, you're good to go. No problems at all. If you have a PlayStation 2 controller laying around, you can pick up this adapter online. It's about like 15 bucks, I think. Basically, you plug in a PS2 controller here, USB, plug in your computer. Personally, I picked up this Logitech. It's a USB Logitech controller. It's very similar to a PS2 controller with analog sticks both being at the bottom. I set it up. It's really simple. MXS doesn't have stunts or anything like that. You can't do hill clickers or Superman airs or anything. It's very simple, straightforward. Strictly for racing. My battery's dying on my... Got this control set up as my clutch right here. Rider control here, forward, back, left, right. And this is very important. Assign your gas and brake to this control, because if you try to map it to your buttons, you're going to be jerking and falling down a lot. So with this here, you can gradually get on the gas, or you can punch the gas, or you can gradually get on the brakes, or you can slam on the brakes. There's more control put in it here. And to be honest, once you get used to it, those of you that play Reflex and Alive and stuff, once you get used to this, you're going to wish that you had it like that for Reflex and Alive. I think back in the day, MX 2002 featuring Ricky Carmichael had this option, and I really like it. So anyway, and right now I guess we'll go right into the game itself. I'll be showing you my setup. Just keep in mind the suspension is going to be to each their own. I ride making a lot of mistakes, and I clip my front tire a lot, which I leave my back suspension really soft and dampered, so I don't get that rebound front flip when I hit the back tire. That's my suspension setup. However you play will probably dictate how your suspension should be set up. As far as actual controls, advanced settings and stuff, I'll show you what controls will help you from bar slapping and stuff like that when you get into turns and stuff. And yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get started. Alright, here we go. We're on the main dashboard. The first thing I would suggest to do is to go into the graphics and sound setup. Here I have an older PC but a decent graphics card, so it's kind of like a give and take. The graphics card can't pull all the weight, so this here, the frame buffer objects and the shader programs, I turned them both off simply because my computer can't handle it. Everything else is kind of maxed out, but if you notice here, I have my texture resolution at 128. 128 isn't bad. There's 256, 512, and I think 1280, but the 128 seems to work out fine. It looks decent, and it doesn't, pull a load on my computer that I lose frame rate. With this game, you want your frame rate as high as possible, because any lag in that's gonna hinder your learning. Roost density, I got it low, and most of the time I have this off. I was recording some stuff earlier, so that's the only reason that's even on. Lens flare, I turn it off, and the rest of the stuff is kind of really up to you. This field of view, I have it set for 120. Basically what it comes down to is the higher you push this, the more illusion you get of speed. So my problem was when I was down with, I think stock is like 115, it just didn't give me that sense of speed. So I was coming into a turn way faster than I thought I was. So I pushed this up to 120 and sometimes 125 depending on the track. And it gives me that sense of speed so I don't come blasting into a turn and just kind of blow out the whole fucking turn. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. If we go back to the main menu here, my bike setup. If you see here, I got it back up to 20. I was at 15, and I was told that that was way too much for my actual experience with the game, so that went back up. I have my brakes both assigned to one thing on the analog stick. Both are assigned to down on the analog stick. So I have my front brake set to 400 and my rear brake set to 20. It works for me. That's something, you know, you're gonna kind of figure out for yourself, I guess. And of course, arcade physics are off. We go into advanced stability. Right now I'm at 30 and 70. Now, why do I point these two out? Well, for one, these two are the ones that affect your bar slapping, I think, the most. I'm sure these do have something to do with it as well, but if I set this up to 80, it's a little too restricting for me, but that's what I went to. I mean, originally I was down to 50 and this was down to 20, but if I set this to 80, it's a little too much. I backed it off to 70. I'm trying to get back down to 50. I like the control of the bike with the 50, but then again, you know, when you're doing supercross and stuff and you have to get into tight turns, a lot of bar slapping will put you right into the dirt. So I have it up to 70 and this up to 30. My goal is to get this back down to 20 and get this back down to 50. Everything else is stock, I believe, except for this. I think I brought this up a little bit just to match up here. And I believe I had it at 7 at one point. Okay, suspension and gearing. Like I said, this is pretty much to your own taste. This is ridiculous, so I wouldn't even try to mimic this. This is my own preference. I like supercross tracks, so for some reason this works for me well. It gets me out of turns fast and smooth, so I like that. But another thing I did here too, this is exaggerated maxed out rider mass. Like I said, for some reason it works for me. This whole setup is kind of the way I ride, so you can try it out, and I don't know if it's going to work out for you, but my front end, I try to keep it a little bit stiffer than my rear end. Actually, my rear end's really soft. Like I said earlier, I clip a lot of the landings with my front tires, so when I do that, the back tire comes down, and if I don't have the back tire or the back suspension really soft, I end up flipping forward. So yeah, that's the reason for that setup. Okay, back to the main menu, and that's pretty much all you really have to get into right away. You can go to track. When I came back, this is my new current favorite track is Sorrento Hills. I have it set for 3 laps. Probably won't show the whole thing, but just to give you an idea of how my settings work for me, and you can maybe judge it against your own experiences with this track. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for all the support. Thanks VMG for posting all my videos and you know, kind of just making it possible for people to be a part of a MX gaming community. I think it's very awesome to me. Once again, Dio, I think you're doing a fantastic job. My Xbox did red ring, so I can't do my usual closeout, which is hope to see you on Xbox Live. Because actually I hope to see myself on Xbox Live sometime soon. I have to get another damn Xbox. Not really looking forward to that. I mean, I had other things I had wanted to purchase before getting another Xbox, but you know, sometimes it's how it goes. And yeah, so yeah, this is Poidog808, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.
To understand, I only wanna be a modern man. For daily motocross pro and am coverage, be sure to log on to vurbmoto.com, and if you like us, prove it.